You know, I've always been fascinated by the mysteries of ancient Egypt, and today we're going to explore some of its darkest secrets. This ancient civilization was steeped in magic, curses, and terrifying rituals that continue to captivate and frighten us to this day. From the infamous curse of Tutankhamun to lesser-known tales of restless spirits and forbidden magic, we're about to journey through the most spine-chilling stories from the land of the pharaohs. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear might just keep you up at night. Right, so, perhaps the most famous curse in Egyptian history, the Curse of Tutankhamun. In 1922, when Howard Carter and his team discovered the young pharaoh's tomb, they couldn't have imagined the series of mysterious deaths that would follow. You see, it all started with Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financier. Right, so mummies have long captured our imagination, but in ancient Egypt, they were more than just wrapped up corpses. The Egyptians believed that proper mummification was crucial for the deceased to journey safely to the afterlife. But what happens when something goes wrong? Well, that's where our next chilling tale comes in. Now we're going to explore the realm of ancient Egyptian rituals, specifically those dedicated to Osiris, the god of the dead. You see, some priests performed forbidden spells, attempting to bring the dead back to life. These rituals were incredibly complex and dangerous. One wrong move, one mispronounced word, and the consequences could be dire. Right, so in Luxor, a city steeped in ancient history, archaeologists made a bone-chilling discovery. They unearthed a chamber with an ominous inscription that read, "Those who enter here will find death." Now, you might think this was just a deterrent for tomb robbers, but the story goes much deeper than that. You see, according to local legends, this wasn't just any burial chamber. It was believed to be a place where powerful sorcerers trapped the souls of the dead through dark magic. The souls, unable to move on to the afterlife, were said to be eternally bound to the chamber, their anguish and rage growing over millennia. Fascinatingly, even hardened archaeologists reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread upon entering the chamber, as if countless unseen eyes were watching their every move. Now, we're going to examine how the ancient Egyptians' reverence for animals could lead to terrifying consequences for those who showed disrespect. You see, in ancient Egypt, certain animals were considered sacred, none more so than cats. These felines were associated with the goddess Bastet, and harming one was considered a grave offense. There's a particularly chilling tale of a merchant who accidentally killed a cat near a temple of Bastet. The story goes that within days, the man began to lose his mind. He claimed to hear the meowing of cats even in complete silence, and witnesses reported seeing spectral felines following him wherever he went. Fascinatingly, this wasn't just superstition. The punishment for killing a cat in ancient Egypt could be death. This story serves as a stark reminder of how seriously the Egyptians took their animal deities. Right? So, the priests of ancient Egypt were more than just religious figures. They were the keepers of powerful and often dangerous knowledge. One particularly gruesome tale involves a group of priests tasked with performing rituals to ensure a pharaoh's safe passage to the afterlife. You see, these weren't simple prayers or offerings. They were complex, high-stakes ceremonies where one mistake could have catastrophic consequences. According to the story, during the funeral rites for Pharaoh Seti I, something went terribly wrong. The priests, in their attempt to open the gateway to the afterlife, accidentally unleashed something far more sinister. Fascinatingly, hieroglyphs discovered later seem to corroborate this tale, speaking of guardians of the dead that punished those who failed in their sacred duties. Now, we're going to explore one of the most unsettling aspects of ancient Egyptian magic, the manipulation of dreams and consciousness. You see, the Egyptians believed that the dream world was just as real and important as the waking world. Some priests claimed they could use dreams to communicate with the gods or even travel to the afterlife. There's a chilling account of a priest known only as the man who could not return. According to ancient texts, this priest performed a ritual to enter the dream realm and speak with the gods. However, something went horribly wrong. His physical body remained alive, but his consciousness became trapped in the dream world. For days, his fellow priests tried to wake him, but to no avail. Eventually, his body withered away, leaving behind a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with forces beyond human understanding. Right. So the Egyptian Book of the Dead is well known, but there are whispers of a lost version that holds far darker secrets. You see, while the standard Book of the Dead contains spells to help the deceased navigate the afterlife, this rumored version was said to contain forbidden knowledge that could blur the line between life and death. Fascinatingly, there's a tale of an archaeologist who claimed to have found fragments of this lost text. According to his journal, as he began to decipher the ancient words, strange things started happening. He wrote of hearing whispers in an unknown language, of seeing shadowy figures at the corner of his vision. His last entry simply read, "The dead are speaking. They want me to join them." Now we're going to examine what happened when mortals dared to anger the gods themselves. There's a particularly chilling tale about a pharaoh who, in his arrogance, stole a sacred object from the temple of Ra, the sun god. You see, the Egyptians believed their gods could directly intervene in human affairs, and the consequences of displeasing them could be catastrophic. According to the legend, immediately after the theft, strange phenomena began to occur. The sky darkened, crops withered, and a great famine swept the land. But the pharaoh's punishment didn't end with his death. When his tomb was eventually discovered centuries later, archaeologists were shocked to find his mummified body in an advanced state of decay, despite the usually excellent preservation of royal mummies. Right, so as we've seen, the world of ancient Egypt was filled with magic, mystery and terror. From cursed tombs to dark rituals, from vengeful mummies to the wrath of the gods, these tales have captivated us for millennia. You see, while we may never know how much truth lies behind these stories, they offer us a fascinating glimpse into the beliefs and fears of one of history's greatest civilizations. And who knows? Perhaps some of that ancient magic still lingers in the shadows of the pyramids, waiting to be awakened once more.